have been accused many times in real life and here on YouTube of being a hater of the Hunt Sonata by Beethoven. And while that is false, I love all the sonatas by Beethoven. It is true that Opus 31 number 3 has always fallen on the lower end of all the sonatas for me. And from time to time, someone will say, Ryan, have you ever given it a fair chance? Have you ever actually put some effort in to practice the Hunt Sonata? And I have to say, no, not really. Until today. That is what I'm doing in this video. I'm going to put my heart and soul into learning the first movement of this sonata for the next hour. So I'm putting 60 minutes on the clock, and I'm going to see how much of the Hunt Sonata I can learn before the time runs out. It's a nasty fingering. Yeah, it doesn't work. I'm not going to decide a final tempo yet, but I'm probably not going to go quite full speed, obviously, in 1 hour. Ooh, triplet. So it's scale, E flat scale to the F sharp. So what I'm doing is quickly identifying this is an E flat major scale, which I can play an E flat major scale. So I'm just asking myself, when does it switch to chromatic? At the F. So I'm just going to memorize at the F, it's chromatic all the way up to the C. So that should be. I'm not sure how staccato I want to make that yet, either or more lengthened. But that's one of those things I don't have to make a decision about right now. Okay, I'm going to tell myself what's different here. So real quick, I'm going to compare. Okay, so the right hand is the same, an octave lower. Right, so earlier it was. Now it is. The right hand is lower and it's higher. So it starts lower, ends higher. The left hand, but over here is. I'm assuming I'm in a transition here. Okay, let's focus on some of this right hand here. So we got. I'm gonna find better fingering for that. There's a lot of ways to do this here. If I don't get it too fast, that's not going to be a problem either way. That might be an issue as I get faster and faster. Put this together here nice and slow. For right now, I'm trying not to be overly legato in the left hand. I don't want to make it, but more. That's just my gut instinct. I don't know if I will stick with that, but that's how I feel right now. One quick tip for you guys, when you are learning a drill, it's okay to do extra rotations when you're at a slow tempo, knowing you're going to cut out a few as it gets faster. So right now I might be going 3 kind of rotations. But as I get faster, I might just sort of naturally start cutting them out. Like, all right, let me try from the top and see what I put together so far. This is my roughly 10 minutes in version. Okay, cool minor version, and then is that right? Am I just hearing this weird in my ear? It looks right to my eyes, sounds wrong to my ears, but oh well, that's the point of playing something I haven't played before. Okay, so we're aiming towards this fully diminished 7th chord. Okay, let's wrap our heads around this real quick. So, just a voice exchange. A voice exchange is when the one hand has a note and the other hand wants it. So you just trade places. You say, I have an F, I have an A flat. I would like the F, I want the A flat. So you just switch. It's really easy to memorize that way too if you think about it as your hands are trading off the notes. Obviously, for those of you watching, this is not the ideal way to practice. I should really be working on smaller groups, but I am trying to see how much I can get done in 1 hour. Ideally, I would spend an hour on a much smaller section and make it better. But that's kind of the fun of this video. And like I said, I've never played this piece before. So I would just say if I'm missing a note, it could happen. I could be misreading something, so I'm trying to go through it very quickly. We have a little Alberti going on here. It's an awkward ending. Come on, Beethoven, why'd you do that to me? Yeah, Birdie's fine, but... Okay, the melody here is... Oh. I feel like this is a little violin spring sonata-ish, which is probably a similar era with all of these. Squeeze in 12 notes in that beat and make it work and have the violinist yell at you because they want to go too fast. Or faster than you want to go, not too fast. Okay, so I'm going to explain a quick practice technique here. I don't want to spend forever on this section, but what I'm going to do is just quickly get the gist of the chords in this shape. So I'm going to block this, then I'm going to block this, and then this to get the note. So, because my right hand really wants to do that or that, but it splits, and then comes back together, and then splits. A lot of the times little mistakes we make is because we don't actually believe what we see in our ears. We think we believe it, but we don't really deep down inside believe that note. So then you can have a hesitation later or an issue there. So I gotta tell myself E flat skips down, and then you go right back to it. I feel like I'm almost done with this exposition, so maybe I can get to the end of the exposition by half an hour. We're going to see what we can do. I would actually do those two note slurs. I know there's some people who just overlook all that stuff and they say, well, just smooth it all out. But especially when it's like 2 2 2 2 2, if it was 4 4 4 4, I might feel a little more like, well, Beethoven's just kind of slurring by the measure. But in this case, I feel like, no, he's actually telling you to do little tiny lifts all the time. Sometimes you see the groups of 4 4 4 4 4, and it's just like the whole piece, and you might not actually lift them. You might just say, well, Beethoven's just stemming every quarter note, or maybe every measure, maybe every like group of 12 or 16 notes. But this with the 2 16 notes, I think, is a pretty strong indication to actually do the lifts. Okay, but I have to work out this section first before I back up to the other measures. What I would actually do if I was just doing a normal practice session, I would not want to struggle with this for a long time. I would get my metronome out, play it about half tempo or maybe even less than half tempo, really get it, and then gradually speed up. Just really solidify, maybe in one day, and feel like I never have to struggle again. The goals of normal practice is not just what you're doing today, but to solve it for the rest of time, right? Okay, now no more putting it off. I got to figure out this measure. Okay, clearly this beat is going to have to add time. I don't think it's going to be possible to play exactly in time with it being triple the notes as a normal group of 4. So that's why I do. I'm kind of deciding between how I want to feel it in my own head. Do I want to sort of break it into 2 groups of 6? Like that. Or do I want to feel it in like 3 groups of 4? Because that really changes things. So that would be equivalent to there. Okay, first 2 pages kind of in context, so. Okay, this isn't really that bad of a page. It's just a little confusing with the trills and then the arpeggio here. All right, time is kind of running out, but I would love to figure out this arpeggio. I'm sure if I studied this piece, I would split it between the hands. I know some of you are like, that's the coward's approach, but so the left hand could, and then maybe that is the key. Just have the left hand help with 2 notes. So every single group is a 10th. That actually kind of works. I don't know if I would stick with that long term, but I kind of like it. This is the original. 2, 3. I mean, it kind of works. It needs more practice, but the left hand jumping in there kind of helps it out. If you don't like it, you're just jealous that I found an easier way. And that is time. I'm going to attempt it. Should I attempt it from memory once just to see how far I go? I'm going to try from memory once. I'll probably crash and burn. Then I might try it again with the music in front of me. Let's see how it goes. Goodbye, beautiful, wonderful sheet music. Nice knowing you. Wish me luck. It doesn't really do any good because I've already done the challenge by the time you watch this video, but it's a nice thought. Okay, now for an attempt with music. It should go better, I hope. Hopefully this kind of gives you a little demonstration of how I would practice something quickly, but also just to show you that even if you can play this level of music, it doesn't mean you can sight read it and then perform it well and musically all within an hour. It just takes some hard work sometimes. But I hope you've enjoyed watching me struggle and suffer a little, and hopefully you learned a few things about practice, maybe some tips along the way. Thanks for watching. See you guys next video.